Hey, it's Rachel. So I want to share a little secret with you guys. I hate to cook. Before I started my blog 3 years ago, I could basically cook pasta. That was about it. Didn't know how to make chicken. The first couple times I had to call my mom to literally say, how do you cook chicken breast? Didn't know how to cook an egg. Didn't know how to make vegetables unless it was from the microwave. And I've learned a lot over the years, but I am still one of those people that just doesn't enjoy it. I don't get how people can spend hours and hours in the kitchen. It's just not for me. But one of the things that I learned with the Whole30 that I just did was I really enjoy meal prepping. I like cooking all of my food on Sunday and having it ready to go throughout the week to just throw in the microwave. And I have been doing this, and I wanted to share with you guys just in case any of you also hate to cook, also are super busy during the week and just want something that is maybe Whole30 approved, or you want something that's gluten-free, or maybe you're just on whatever diet and you want to learn how to meal prep the easy way. So I filmed a few clips for you just how I did my meal prepping. I basically cooked a lot of chicken breast, a lot of sweet potato, ground beef, rice, and then I always like to cook vegetables fresh. You could cook a bunch of broccoli, just steam it, but it's so easy to steam broccoli. It takes less than 10 minutes. I think it actually takes 7 minutes to steam broccoli. So I just do that, you know, that night of. But the first thing I did was I cooked a ton of chicken breast, and I did do some shopping at Costco. So I just got my order from Costco. I use something called Instacart here in Chicago, which lets you order from a few different stores in Chicago, but since I don't have a Costco membership and it lets me order from Costco, I always use it. I'm gonna show you today the meal prep that I'm gonna do with all of this food. So I ordered chicken breast. It's just the Purdue. I'm not a huge fan of this brand, but it's all that Costco sells. I am gonna try this lean ground beef. This is actually frozen, so I don't know if I'm actually gonna be able to cook it today. I have a ton of organic eggs, which actually the price was pretty good. I think I only paid $7 for 2 dozen. A huge thing of broccoli, another big bag of sweet potato, and some avocados. At Costco, I bought one of those huge packets of chicken. Each of these containers is 2 chicken breasts, and so 2, 4, 6. I'm gonna cook up 6. What I'm gonna do is take each chicken breast out. I'm gonna put a little salt, well, a lot of salt and pepper on it, and then I'm gonna put 1 chicken breast in 1 storage bag. And I have something called a Sous Vide. So I cook it using a Sous Vide. Basically it's an immersion cooker. You just buy this thing and then you stick it onto a container. We got this for Christmas, and there is a top that I'm gonna put on it, and we're just gonna set the temperature. So I'm gonna set it to let's do 150 and start. And basically what that's gonna do is, you can see it is like circulating the water and it's heating it up. These are all my chicken. And basically what I'm gonna do is I'm going to close up all of these bags, but because I don't have a vacuum sealer, while the chicken is underwater, I'm gonna push all of the air out of the bag and then close it shut. And the water should push all of the air out of the bag. And that is it. So all of the chicken are taking their water bath. And eventually this will get up to 150 degrees. And then what happens is the chicken, after a while, the temperature of it will raise to match the temperature of the water. So if I set the temperature to 150, the chicken will cook to 150. I just leave it. It's kind of like, I don't know, like a slow cooker where I just set it and forget it. But I'm gonna leave that for like an hour, 1 to 4 hours. I'll probably take it out in like 2. And yeah, that's it. And then I'll have 6 perfectly cooked chicken breasts ready to go. So yeah, so I used my sous vide to cook a ton of chicken breast. If you are the type of person that needs to cook a lot of meat and you suck at cooking meat, whether that's chicken, I cook steak in the sous vide, you can even cook eggs in the sous vide, although that's not my favorite way. But steak, chicken, it's impossible to overcook your meat. It's impossible to screw it up. It's totally worth the money. So I cooked a bunch of chicken breast, and then for my pre-workout, I've been doing ground beef and sweet potato. And so ground beef is easy enough to just cook on the stove. This is 2 1/3 pounds of ground beef that I just cooked up in the skillet. Again, using this coconut oil spray just lightly beforehand. But with sweet potato, you can cook it in the microwave, and I've done that before, but I actually found a way on PaleoMG's blog where you just take a bunch of sweet potato, wrap it in tin foil, and do it in the crock pot. And then over here, I am cooking 5 sweet potatoes. I washed this off in the sink, just really scrubbed it off. Do not dry it, keep it wet. And I'm gonna roll it up in tin foil, and then I'm gonna put them all in the crock pot. I actually learned this from PaleoMG, and I've done it before. It works out really well. I'm gonna cook these for I'm gonna cook these on low for about 8 hours. You can also do high for 4 hours. I've done the high for 4 hours. The problem with that is that sometimes the sugar of the potato can come out and kind of melt, and it burned in the bottom of my crock pot. So this time, since it's early enough in the day, I'm gonna try it on 8 hours on low, and I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. It really turns out great. I had no problems reheating the sweet potato all week. I'm probably gonna do it that way from now on, just because I do eat so much of it. This is great if you are doing the Whole30 and you are doing CrossFit every day and you really need, you know, those carbs, and you just cook a bunch of it on Sunday and you're good to go. The other thing I did was cook a ton of rice. Now, I have a pretty expensive rice cooker. I'm actually going to do a review on it in case that's something that you are interested in, just because I love my rice cooker. It was a Christmas gift that Jake bought me a couple years ago, and it just cooks rice to perfection. Again, it's one of those things that you just cannot screw up. Cooking up some brown rice in my rice cooker. That's the brand. I love this thing. It's totally worth the money. Normally I eat white rice, but after this Whole30, I decided to just switch it up and see how my body likes brown rice. I do 3 cups of rice at a time. The one that I have does white rice, does brown rice. I think you can even steam vegetables in it. It's awesome. So yeah, so that was my meal prep. But the key to this meal prep is I do not pre-portion all of my food out into Tupperware for the whole week. You can do this, and when people think of meal prep, this is what you typically think of. You know, you sit there with your measuring cup and you measure out everything for the whole day, and then if you have leftovers, whatever, and you eat the same meal every single day. But that's really boring. What if you pre-portioned out chicken, but you feel like beef that day? So what I do is I cook a bunch This is also called batch cooking. And I put it in a big Tupperware container and I just put that all in the fridge. So instead, you could see I cooked a ton of the ground beef and I just put it in one giant container, put that in the fridge, and that way whenever I feel like beef, I have a ton to choose from. And then every single day I can decide what do I feel like. And I can choose, do I feel like rice or do I feel like sweet potato for my carb? Do I feel like ground beef or do I feel like chicken for my protein? And it's just, it makes life so much easier because you get that, the batch cooking or the meal prep convenience of it without the monotonous, oh my God, I'm eating the same thing every single day. You can also, instead of reheating in the microwave, you can, why don't you reheat it on the stove? And so you put the chicken on the stove and then you add a bunch of different spices that day, and maybe you add some onion and you add some tomato, and it's like a brand new meal and you're not just eating plain chicken. So that's it. That's my meal prep video. I don't know. Okay, so that's my meal prep. It's super easy. Let me know if you guys try it and if it makes your week any easier by doing all of this cooking on Sunday. I know a lot of you probably don't have the fancy rice cooker and you probably don't have the sous vide. You do not need these to meal prep this way. Chicken can easily be cooked in the oven. Rice can easily be cooked on the stove. Please don't let the fact that I own these fancy kitchen gadgets stop you from trying this, because I do think it's really helpful. But if you guys meal prep, let me know how you meal prep. Maybe you have a really easy way to cook chicken in the oven. That would be really helpful for everybody watching this. And that's it. So I will see you guys on my next video. Bye guys. Right as I was about to make my second cup of coffee, Jake reminded me we had no eggs. So we're going out to breakfast, which is great because you guys ask me all the time, what do I eat when I go to a restaurant? So I'm gonna show you. See you in a bit.